You know how many men out there have had to put up with absolutely god-awful cooking, but they've done it for love and desire not to die of starvation. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to Blue Eye Samurai. We're now on to episode 5, which is called The Tale of the Ronin and the Bride. So the last episode, we had Mizu getting closer to her objective of getting to Mr. Fowler, and the way that she realized that people were getting into the fortress off the coast of Japan that was supposedly impenetrable was the way that the prostitutes were being sent through. So she went to the house where these prostitutes were being sent from, got to know the madam of that house, and basically said, look, I need a way in, you need to tell me. The madam did not want to help her, but we see that Mizu masterfully negotiated with her by saying that I will do something for you if you give me this information. So the madam asked her to go and take care of a young lady that used to be in her care, someone that meant quite a lot to her. Essentially, she wanted Mizu to go in there and assassinate her because it was the only way to free her from a life of being perpetually abused by the gang lord, I guess you could call it, of the area. So Mizu went to do this and it went almost perfectly, except for a little boy actually saw her when she finished the job. Mizu, instead of doing the unthinkable, tried to cover her tracks, but the boy, of course, spilled the beans, and we ended the episode with this gang, which is called the Thousand Claw Gang, I think it was called, and their leader showing up in front of this brothel and demanding that everybody come out and that they basically are going to burn the place down, which is exactly what the madam was afraid would happen. So that's what's going on there. And outside of that, we see that Taigen was captured by Heiji because he wants to find out everything about Mizu, because understandably Heiji is very shaken, but Taigen is surprisingly decided to defend and protect Mizu because he's developed a respect for her as a fighter. Oh, and then the other side note is that Akemi did come up against Mizu, made a very clumsy attempt to try to drug Mizu, but Mizu was already 10 steps ahead. They exchanged information, and now Akemi knows that Taigen is still alive, and she is, of course, still trying to find him, but has no idea where he is. And of course, at this point, we know that Mizu thinks that Taigen is either on his way back to where they live or just wandering. Either way, it's not really her problem. So that's where we're at, ready to get into the episode and see how our girl's gonna handle all these fangs. Not fangs, all these claws this time. And hopefully she gets out unscathed. So I'm about to jump into the episode, but just before I do, a reminder that I do a lot of reactions here on this channel to all kinds of great stuff. And if you'd like to support me or be updated when I do uploads on this particular show, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And please leave some likes and comments on this video if you're loving it. All right, that out of the way, guys, let's get to the episode right about now.
There lives
Beautiful.
a Ronin.
Mm.
Was assassinated by a rival.
Not the ribbons for the blood. I love it. Not the mirroring.
To the
I mean, is she even fully healed? I'm not mad about her, the Madam's Dorman getting got though, because he was saying he liked seeing girls get hit, so that was his karma. Well done with the puppetry. Y'all want to reconsider? You getting paid enough?
You have murdered us.
Ma'am, you... I can't talk about she blaming her. You're the one who sent her on a mission that you knew had a 2% chance of success. I mean, I get it, but still. And honestly, what was she supposed to do? She would have had to take out that little boy. I couldn't do it. You probably couldn't do it. Oh, yes, ninjas moving it. She's not a samurai. She's a ninja, y'all. She ain't no samurai. She's a ninja.
Where his parents implored him to begin a new life.
Too late. Consumed
But
by hatred.
hate is like a typhoon.
Yep. Oh,
Mama?
few happy memories she has.
Bad men are looking for you, Mizu, for a girl. You must be a boy. Always a boy.
Yeah, I get it. That was a protection. And the only one to mourn her mother. How much does that suck?
He would soon learn. The demon's path is paved with sharp stone.
Absolutely. Oh, the demon's path. What a good choice of words. You kind of have to become that when you want to be nothing better. agent of revenge. Hey, you didn't check the shadows, did you? Oh, blood is so hard to get off the floor.
Now they have to get through both of us.
Okay. Sure, sis.
You're the bravest princess I've ever met.
I mean, brave or stupid, we don't know.
If I die today, I die free.
I do understand that, though, because chances are they're not going to just take those women out, at least not immediately. What you swinging at, bro? See, this is why I know that some people are just not smart, because if I just saw a bunch of my people who are supposed to be good in a pile... Not on the other side. Now both sides jacked up. She ain't gonna have no internal organs by the time she gets to this castle.
You half-breed piece of shit.
How many times has this girl been stabbed?
The Ronin soul grew weary, and his body ill.
Revenge will take it out of you. There's so many.
Only that he might die before fulfilling his vow.
That has very much been her story so far. She doesn't seem to have any idea of what the future is or what it means.
A few coins and I'll show you heaven.
Help me.
I'm not gonna live. I'll be going to heaven on my own self if you don't help me, please.
And for the first time in many moons,
He got laid.
the Ronin rested.
That's more important.
The Ronin regained his strength, ready to return to his journey of fate.
Don't worry about anything. I have the answer to all our prayers. I found you a husband.
Who's gonna marry her with her eyes? Who?
I made my vow.
What woman doesn't want a man to take care of her?
I don't know, one that's capable?
I'm off to work now. We need the money.
Where did her money go? Where did her mom take it? Probably for the opium, right?
The point is, you're both outcasts. He is money and is in no position to complain.
Yeah, I
about
need to know more about the transgression because I don't feel like it's mild. I mean, this does look beautiful. But looks can be deceiving. I wonder if this guy is actually nice or not. Like, maybe he was. If we're going with the parallel of the stories here, this man might have actually been kind. He's not hideous.
You're not as hideous as I expected.
All right, I'm getting back in the carriage.
Okay, back to work.
He's like, anyway, okay. You know, this guy may not be a jerk. Probably not that affectionate, but as long as he's not abusive back in this time, at the bars in hell, I know, that was definitely a blessing. Who that? Who that? Not you hiding. Aren't you supposed to be a claw? Oh, girl, Mizu. Honey.
I'm not a brute.
Oh. Thank God. Okay. I didn't get that sense from him. He just needs help around the house. Oh, so I'm thinking maybe he was taken from her, because that seems like that would have been the ideal life for her.
Let's steal a little fun for us.
Yep, that's exactly what she was afraid of. Start with a kitchen knife, friend. Good cut. That was accidental, but he did it to himself. You can't count that one. The Kemi said. Oh, don't get too bold now.
Keep watch.
Sis, that was because he was distracted. I mean, it's showing though clearly that all these guys are trained, thank God. Actually, the nice thing is very hard for them to do. Very sweet move. I was about to say, very hard for them to come at her multiple times. Outside of course, front and back in that hallway. Might be a good idea. Whoa, God! Eyes. Eyes.
You can trust me.
He really is a nice man. Animals will let you know. Damn. Okay, she said all the seasoning. Okay, presentation needs work. And maybe flavoring.
Well, back to work.
least he didn't say. He's actually a nice guy for those times. Did you teach her how to do any of these womanly things? You can't be mad at her. Raised her to be a boy for the first whatever years of her life.
He will welcome me back.
Screw him. You don't need him. You're probably too nice to be around him anyway.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I kind of ship these two. I know it must end in tragedy, but it's cute so far. Is it better? Maybe you just need to adjust your palate. Because clearly her cooking's not getting no better. You know how many men out there have had to put up with absolutely god-awful cooking, but they've done it for love and the desire not to die of starvation. That's right. Kai's like, I just don't like the men folk, you know, that don't trust him.
Can you ride?
Oh, you meant the horse. Right. Thanks, Akemi. Guess you owe him one now.
You're going too fast!
Oh, we haven't heard Mizu laugh one time. This is the first time. Isn't that crazy? It shows how sad and broken she is. This is the first time we've heard her laugh, and it's in a flashback. Even as a child, she didn't laugh. Oh, that's kind of hot.
Impressive.
She's like, I'll get my own now, just because I got to show off.
Aim for that one right there.
And she's going to pretend. Oh, I'm so weak. Not her. She must like you. Look at her pretending to be just the damsel who don't know how to throw no knives.
The Ronin could still hear it calling his name.
Yeah, it is hard. It is really hard to learn to let go of something you put so much time and effort into.
Get some dried mackerel. Mizu likes it.
Oh, she's getting nothing but opium with that.
Isn't enough for my medicine.
We think you should try going without.
Withdrawal? Good luck with that. She's getting opium. She's like, why don't you move your man a little closer? It's a little chilly over here. Aw, she was genuinely happy. Ugh. I'm already sickened for how badly this is going to end somehow. Aw, Kai was her horse. Master doesn't have to have that horse.
With Kai, your wish may come true.
Kai is too good for any lord. Kai is...
Aw. Best husband ever. Not us both tearing up. Mm-hmm. You earned it. I'm glad that at least I was wondering if she'd ever had a relationship, but at least it wasn't horrible. Okay, that's quite the transition. I mean, I know it says a lot of combinations between that and fighting, but I mean, that's a great thing. If you're about to leave this world, that's probably one of the better memories to have. Woo! She said you have two heads now. And I'm not talking about above and below. I love the way they've animated her movements. It's so cool. Honey, you are strong, but not that strong. Oh. Well, that door might keep you alive. Cute.
I want to see all of you. Not who your mother wants you to pretend to be.
All I did was train with a sword.
He wants to see it. Smart man finds a woman that can take care of herself and him hot. That's all I'm saying.
Unsheath it. Show me your blade.
I'm sure she meant figuratively. She did tell you not to underestimate her. Ooh, way to use your environment. Never mind, I guess you're not limited by the shoes at all. Well, he's either gonna be turned on or terrified. Terrified. Too bad.
You are a monster.
Ugh. You are so hot up until this point, sir. Pride is a nasty thing.
To take the horses to the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
All of the horses.
Including yours
Yours too.
Yeah. He told her to show him all sides of her and then he couldn't handle it. How? How was that her fault? Come on, Mizu. I don't know how to even get out of this, girl. Start biting someone's toes. I don't know. That's too many horse. That is what he sold her out. Not the ultimate betrayal. Never mind. I take back what I said about I hope he was still alive. I hope whatever he got, he deserved. Or he deserved whatever he got. You know what I meant. Man, got me frustrated. I can't even say my sentences straight. Yeah, the audience should gasp. The Ronin deserved to be alone. And again, became a bigger monster than anything he thought he was trying to slay with his revenge. This is the lesson of revenge, people. He's not there for you. Don't smile, honey. He sold you out. Because he's jealous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm so sorry. The one time you opened your heart. Woo, child, if there's anything in this world that will mess a woman up terribly, it's a man. Yep. You want me to be a monster? A monster I'll be. Ooh, I love those cuts. What? There's more. She's like, thanks, hubby. You might have been a dick, but you did teach me something. Here, I thought these were just weights. No, no, no. Mizu stand here. Hell yeah. Anything that useless man was good for, it was that one lesson. Woo! She's setting limbs. Limbs, body parts, heads. Not her break dancing while taking... I'm done. I'm done. Y'all idiots. Y'all idiots. Nah, Mizu's OP. She is OP. It's too much. And she's doing that with a hole in her side. Other side ain't even healed yet. I love the animation of the puppeteers in the background too. So smart and detailed. That's exactly what y'all should have done 10 bodies ago. He's a boy. Damn, she said she's done. Hmm? Well, I know you didn't say no. I know you didn't just send people a whole thing to come get me and then say, no, 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 no. All of you, take turns. Exactly.
You are more man than any come through my door.
Noted. Can someone go stitch her up, though? She's probably bleeding out, for real. Oh, not with your own weapon. Woo, hell hath no fury. Don't you dare. Lies! I don't believe you.
I sold myself back on the bridge. I needed my medicine. He must have turned you in to win back his title.
Oh, this is hard. I don't know. But he took the horse.
Weak.
Shut your mouth, you lying whore.
Touching her mom was a bad idea, sir.
Stop it.
Did she take them both out? Oh my God, did she take them both out?
Mizu. I love you, Mizu. Mizu. Oh.
I didn't think she'd have it in her to take out her mom. I'm glad I was kind of right about that, but damn. I don't know who I believe. I don't know. I think her mom did it, though.
I'm not going anywhere. Right, Mizu?
Do we have a problem here?
Get him.
I'm not your dog.
Take her.
Get off of me! Mizu! Get
I mean, you do kind of owe her your life, but at the same time, I understand. Mizuki has only so many battles she can fight at once. Sorry.
You just stood there.
She's done.
She's better off.
Some of y'all are really not understanding that this is still one woman. I mean, she's doing some superhuman shit, but...
A samurai is honorable.
Yeah, I never said I was,
I
though.
never said I was a samurai.
Period.
You did. I'm on the path of revenge. There's no place on it for love or friendship or weakness.
Taking off the bell. Rude.
How did this terrible creature come to be?
A lot of
It
pain.
alone was not enough. It took one more ingredient. Love.
Poisoned by betrayal. Oh, bars in this show.
And war.
Her heart getting broken is really what her final straw was.
Our humble thanks to our most benevolent Shogun.
Oh, we finally get to see him?
Did we not, Takemi?
Yes, my lord.
Time jump.
You see, I met an Onryo once. A real one. But was incapable of love. There was only darkness.
Oh, the black teeth. I'm sorry, sis. That part sucks. All right, guys. Wow, that was a fantastic episode. Like, fantastic. I really love the way they did the parallel storytelling here, how they used the play as a metaphor for what was happening with our main character, Mizu. The parallels between their stories, obviously the fable, the play was there was a little bit of hyperbole in it. I mean, Onryos, to our knowledge, don't actually exist, but we've already heard her be referred to as a demon multiple times. I mean, most of it was in reference to her eyes, to her appearance, but really, we now know that it goes deeper than that. She even thinks of herself that way. The term monster has been applied to Mizu since she was a child, and for better or worse, she's internalized that title. And I really love how they showed, again, the path of how she got to this place. Because obviously being bullied, being abused, being hated, being ostracized, all those things definitely can be the right ingredients to create a instrument of anger and death and destruction. But it goes deeper to not be able to allow yourself the natural human emotions we typically have. Natural emotions such as empathy, such as a sense of wanting to protect others, and of course, love. Love is our most natural instinct as humans. We all want to love. It is the easiest thing for us to do naturally, but when it stops being natural or it becomes difficult, is usually because things have occurred. We've been hurt, we've been traumatized, sometimes either very deeply once or multiple times, and then the scar tissue really does become this wall that makes it impossible or almost impossible for us without help sometimes to get to a point where we can go back to that natural state of loving and caring. And so this episode, we see that Mizu kind of started to slide back into that state of wanting to naturally be a loving, protective person. Her deciding that she wanted to defend the brothel and the women in it, and obviously save her own life. But, you know, the whole thing, because she could have just ran, right? Really, she could have just taken off. They would have taken out the worst of it on the brothel. And if she disappeared, they probably would have let it go, but she didn't want to do that. But as she was going through this, as she gets stabbed, as she gets wounded, as she gets to the point where it's, you know, literally her life on the line, we see her almost reverting back into a feral state. And we see that during this fight, she's having flashbacks of the last time she allowed herself to be in this position of loving something and wanting to protect it, and how it turned poorly and sour for her. And she went back, like I said, it caused her to revert back to that feral state. And I love seeing the story of her and Mikio. I still like the love story. I really wish Mikio had not been a stereotypical man. And I just say that in the sense of, I know not all men are like this, FYI, I understand that. But when I say stereotypical, I'm talking about the times, the society, and sadly, even now and today, a lot of men have to fight against the idea that they're not allowed to be okay with and supportive of a woman who might be better than them in something, or women who fit into things that society is deemed as masculine, such as fighting or I don't know, the things in this world that we say are supposed to be for men, which really aren't. They just happen to be that way because misogynists created that dichotomy. But digressing, a lot of men have to fight against that. And it takes a lot. You have to be a very secure man to be okay with supporting not just women in general, but also your partner in potentially being outside of a norm, especially if that norm is in your society. So I don't really necessarily blame Mikio. It's not an easy thing. And again, in those times, unheard of to have a woman who had the skill to be a warrior the way that his wife did. Like, that just was unheard of. And so his ego was obviously pricked. That fight that they had when he told her, I want to see all of you. I don't care what training you have. Like, I love you. I accept who you are. Except in his mind, he still had Mikio boxed in as a woman. There were still limitations in his mind. He thought her saying I trained with a sword meant that she probably had a few little stick moves. And especially, I mean, it didn't help that my girl was pretending to not even be able to throw a knife earlier in the episode. But yeah, he had a box in his mind that he'd already put Mizu in, and thought that, yeah, she couldn't possibly be much better than that. He thought at most she'd be able to hold her sword for a couple seconds. But when she showed him that she was literally born for this. Let's be real. She really was born, because yes, she's trained a lot and she's trained hard, but I think it's fair to say that Mizu has an affinity for fighting. She whooped him. Like, she really went maybe a little too all out. But why shouldn't she? She thought this man genuinely loved her. She thought this man genuinely was ready to see all sides of her. So why would she not show all that she's learned and allow herself to play with it and just enjoy herself? And as I said, unfortunately, his ego would not allow him to see her shine that brightly and realize that he had nothing to do with that and that there was nothing he could do to dim it. So he dimmed it in the only way that he knew how, by rejecting her in that moment and calling her the very word that he knew would hurt her. And it just sucks because this happens in real life. I cannot count the amount of stories I have heard of women who've had relationships end because they've had men who can't accept that they were making more money than them, that they were maybe physically stronger than them, taller than them, maybe more intellectually, capable than them. And I say intellectually capable, I just mean maybe there's certain things this world says that makes you smart that maybe that they're not in. But the point is, I've just heard of this where that unfortunately some men can't get past that, or can't see that that does not detract from them and their manliness and who they are in any way. And so unfortunately, Mikio had his weakness, and it hurt her deeply because, again, she'd had a shield up. She'd had a wall up for so long between obviously being ostracized her whole life, being bullied, her own mother pulling back affection from her in her own way of protecting herself and Mizu, and then abandoning her. Imagine all those years thinking your mom had passed and then find out that she just left you and never tried to find you. Like, that was another thing she never even got a chance to address with her mom, right? All of that. And she, of course, had created this wall to keep herself protected. She'd been hurt repeatedly over and over again, unapologetically. No one even apologized. Her mom didn't even say sorry. She was like, yeah, I know it kind of hurt you, but it was for the best. For who? Right? You just became an opium addict and left me alone. But anyway, so for her having that wall up, she had that wall good, right? It was sealed up, it was polished, it was strong. And she finally, after, we don't even know how many years she was with Mikio, but obviously eventually it came down because of the fact that he actually was a decent guy for those times and he was kind to her. And yeah, she thought, maybe I can live this life. Maybe I really can just love and let myself be loved. And then this happened, this betrayal of her trust, this betrayal of her openness. And I'm not going to put all of it on Mikio because this is also a lot to do with Mizu. She is so scarred and so hurt that there is a part of her that was always waiting for a reason. I can tell you right now, there was always a part of her waiting for the other shoe to fall where Mikio was concerned. And that moment was like her cementing that, okay, I knew he was too good to be true. And now it's validated. And now I have a reason to put my wall back up, right? And then of course, the men coming to the house, I mean, I get that. I am now confused. I don't know. Y'all in the comments, let me know. I don't know who to believe as far as who turned her in. It seems unlikely that her mother would have, because her mom went through a lot of lengths when she was little to protect her, to suddenly turn her in at this point. But we do know that the mom might have been resentful of Mizu for trying to get her off the opium, right? Against her will. I mean, that's the thing. If someone's addicted to something, you can't force them to come off of it unless you can literally restrain them somewhere. But even then, addiction, a lot of overcoming addiction is up here. The person has to they have to be in the mindset of wanting to walk away from that. her mother was not there. So there would have been some resentment from her mom from that. Plus her mom was mad about the fact that she let her old lifestyle slip into this one, even though her husband asked for it. But at the same time, is it possible that Mikio, in his anger, said something? But I don't know. I believe Mikio. I do. I think Mikio was telling the truth. I think that he was mad. I think his temper tantrum moment was selling the horse that he said he was going to leave for her. But I don't think he wanted her dead. I don't think it was that far. I think it was the mother. I think the mother sold information. I think the mother just figured, if I gave you all these opportunities and you still didn't take it, you don't deserve to live. And again, she was an addict. So it's not like she was thinking straight anyway. But I don't know. I guess we'll never know. And that's why the ending is very fitting, where her husband took out her mom and she took out her husband. She was like, I don't know which one of you is telling the truth, but either way, you both betrayed me. So you're both dead to me as far as I'm concerned. So very poignant and very good information we needed to know about Mizu. And again, it just leads us to understand why she is so distant and why it's so hard for her to open up, and why, if she ever does again, it's going to take someone who can really be patient with her and help her understand that not everyone is going to betray her. And I love that line in there that said it wasn't just hatred that fueled her revenge, it was love that was it love destroyed by betrayal, something along those lines, tainted by betrayal, something along those lines. But yes, I feel like betrayal cuts deeper than hate. It really does, because that means that you can only be betrayed by people you love. So yeah, great episode, great messaging, great insight into Mizu's character. And we see now too that it looks like a little bit of time has passed, because our girl, again, I'm not sure what the timeline is. Maybe we're actually in the past up until now, but we now know that Akemi is with the Shogun. I don't know if she's married him yet, but she's got valid reason to be very upset with Mizu. But as I said, I kind of understand where Mizu is coming from as well. She's got too many battles on her hands as it stands. Yes, it wasn't the morally right decision to make, and I understand where Ringo is coming from, but at the same time, Ringo is projecting his own expectations onto her, even though Mizu's been trying to tell him repeatedly that that's not fully who she is, at least not right now. But I don't want people to give up on her. I think my girl Mizu has a path back, but it's going to take the right person, and God forbid it might actually be Taigen. We'll have to see, because my man's still trapped at the castle, we think. So yeah, great episode. I enjoyed that a lot, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching with me. If you did, please show love to this video, and I will see you in the next one.